this is enough light. I don't have that much going on right now. I don't have a lot of natural light, contrary to what that looks like. It's actually cloudy outside. Wait, the sun is peeking through. What is this crap? I can't rely on outside light, so I'm trying to use my kitchen lights over there. Hopefully it's good enough. Sorry. I don't have a lighting setup. Welcome back. It's another Witchy Wednesday. I'm cold, and it's the blanket. I am Sage. I feel like it's getting darker. I don't know. Oh, that's because it went cloudy again. Huh. Oh well. We're gonna make it work, right? Right, okay. Put that over there. I'm gonna put that there. See if I can get some light on me from my computer too. Alright, so we're going to do the last of the Pagan Journaling challenge questions. That is 22 through 30. Today is the 26th, but I'm just going to go ahead and finish out the month because I don't know. I have no idea. Oh, what's my computer doing? I have no idea what I'm going to do next week for Witchy Wednesdays. Just FYI, no idea. No idea. Alright. It's back here, so you're going to see me turn around a lot. 22. If money were no object, how would I set up my home to support my practice? Well, my home wouldn't be set up too much differently other than maybe like pagan art on the walls. That would be nice. Well, I guess there would be some things. I might put like a dream catcher over the bed. I'd probably have some wind chimes out on my balcony. My altar is the biggest thing that would be different though. I would like a larger altar. I would be able to change it out for seasons because I kind of want to do that now. I'm fairly certain when I answered that question about changing altars for the seasons, I said I didn't do that. Now I kind of wanna. So, I wish I had like some autumn decorations. So I would be able to make changes I wanted to make. I do kind of want to be able to somewhat have a feel in my home for each season, except summer because I don't like summer. Fall is my favorite, followed by winter, which is good because winter comes after fall, followed by spring, again good because spring comes after winter, and then I don't like summer at all, so whatever. Basically my altar would be different. I would probably decorate my home to celebrate the seasons a little more, just to bring that in more. I would just have a lot more pagan decorations. Like I've seen some moon phase stuff that was really cool. My altar would be bigger, with some more stuff on it. I have like a wish list of pagan stuff that I want. You know, some of them are things like spheres, like a fluorite sphere. Let me think, what else? What else was on my wish list? I literally just had it in my head and then lost it. I would have a much bigger selection of incense. Oh, herbs. Herbs. I really want to get into herbalism. And, so I would, if money were no object, I would be able to do that, whether it's growing some of my own, you know, whatever I would need. Because I have never really been able to get into herbalism like I want to. So, that would be awesome. You know, probably what I do during the summer, totally back to seasonal, is probably during the summer I'd go with like an ocean theme. Because I am very connected to water, so that's probably what I would do for summertime, is an ocean theme. Sorry, my brain just thought of it, so I went back. Yeah, I would just have a lot more pagan decorations, basically. And then my altar would be bigger and more diverse, I would say. Yeah. Alright, 23. How do I see shadow work? Do I see it as a useful practice? Yes, it is quite useful. There are parts of ourselves that we don't like for whatever reason. Maybe we can be jealous. Maybe we can be judgmental. Maybe we've had trauma in our past. There's a lot of different things that can contribute to our shadow self. And I feel like shadow work is important so that we can accept that part of ourselves and like integrate it so that we're whole. Because you can't just ignore part of yourself. You're never, at least I feel, you're never going to be truly happy, and you're never going to feel truly fulfilled if you're denying that part of yourself even exists, or just hiding it away, you know, locking it away somewhere. So I think shadow work can be very beneficial. I've done some myself and it has definitely made some changes. So 24. Do I regularly do shadow work? If so, do I record it? Why or why not? Usually I use tarot to do shadow work. I don't regularly do it. I probably should. I do record. Almost yawned. We've had this talk, yawning and migraines. For some reason they go together. I do record it when I do spreads though. Any type of spread that's for self-development, I always record so I can go back to it. 25. What is my greatest wish, dream for my life? How can I begin to work towards that? Probably similar to a lot of people's. I just want to do something that gives me fulfillment. That's it. I just want to be happy and peaceful. Not have stress and anxiety over everything, you know, paying bills and all of that nonsense. Right now, fighting disability and such. I would love to find a way that I can do something that I'm passionate about that's related to my paganism and have enough income from it that I don't have to be on disability. And, you know, it be something that I can work around my migraines and other medical issues. So I don't even know if that's possible, nor do I know how to work towards that right now. I mean, I literally have no money right now. Like, negative money is what I have. So my long-term disability has been a pain. They approved my short-term disability, which for those that don't know, short-term and long-term disability are things you get through your job. Last time I worked was December 16th of 2016. I went on short-term disability. I had to fight for it for the full 6-month duration of it, but they did approve it, you know, for the full 6 months. Short-term always has a max, and then if you need to continue, then it has to transition over to long-term. Transition over to long-term has been the pain in the ass. They actually denied the first time, which doesn't make sense to me. Up to that point, they agreed. So I'm still waiting on the appeal for that. It's been 8 weeks since I filed my appeal on that, and they told me it would take 4 to 6 weeks. So I have not been paid no sort of income since mid-June, and it's now September 26th. And my husband is not making enough money to pay all our bills. So it's been incredibly difficult. I've literally had no money to do anything I want to do, like buy a tarot deck. Hell, I can't even buy candles. Like, I have 2 like taper candles left, and they're both like, here, this is one of them. It's been burned down, as you can see. And the other one's a little bigger than that, and then that's it. Once those are burned, I have no more candles, which sucks. I'm getting low on all my incense. I can't get any more tarot decks. Like, I can't get any more crystals. I can't get anything that I would like to get. I mean, we have a hard enough time trying to get food in our house, so it's been a pain. So really my greatest wish and dream for my life is happiness and peace and not having anxiety related to things like money. Seems like that's been a really common thread throughout my life, and I've tried to do some shadow work about it. My very first job that I started the summer before my senior year of high school, I got laid off from. Like, my very first job. And I got laid off from it like the day I moved into a new apartment. So I actually am 36, and I've actually been laid off of 5 jobs in my life. And layoffs are tough, man. One job gave me like 2 weeks of pay after the layoff. But generally all you can do is go file for unemployment, and then unemployment never pays, at least for me, it has never paid what I was making when I lost the job. So I've just had a lot of money issues, and I am well aware that some of it's due to my own bad decisions. I totally own that, and I've learned mostly not to do some of those mistakes again. But a lot of it has been out of my hands, like being laid off. I can't do anything about when I come into work one day and I'm called into an office and my manager says, we can't afford to pay you anymore, you can go home now and go file for unemployment. Like, so that's the biggest thing. I know that has nothing to do with Pagan. I mean, it kind of does, because my spirituality is what will help me. But yeah, I would love to be able to have an income doing something I love. Like, my kind of dream for career-wise would be to own my own little shop. Like, to have my own little, like, pagan shop. You know, sell crystals and herbs and oils and books and decks and, you know, all of that. That's what I'd love to do. If I could even get a part-time job at one of the local stores here. I can't do that on disability though, and I need to be in a position where I can work it around my disability, and that's a problem because I never know when a migraine is going to hit or when other medical issues are going to hit. Migraine's not the only thing I have. It's the one that affects me the most. It's the one that's most keeping me out of work right now, but it's not the only. So a lot of anxiety in regards to money and job and disability. So that's my greatest wish. Number 26, my most memorable experience during a working. It was actually a tarot reading. It was a couple months ago. There was a tarot challenge on Instagram by, I think her name is Lego_bird, I believe. And she was doing a different spread every day, which was kind of cool. Because they were all like different types of spreads. Like, they weren't like past, present, future and Celtic Cross, and like they weren't typical spreads. One of them was talking to death. I want to say I had like 9 cards in it, something like that. But it was questions like, you know, what's the afterlife like, and just some information like that. And I pulled all the cards and had them laid out in the spread. And then after I had them all laid out, before I started interpreting them, I thought, you know, what might be interesting is to call on a deity associated with death and see if they will help me with these answers. Because the point of the spread was like to talk to death. So a deity associated with death that I was interested in is Anubis from Egyptian mythology. he was the god of the dead for a while, and then Osiris replaced him in that, but he is still the god of the underworld, the afterlife. He's still very much associated with death. So I asked him to come, and then I started interpreting the cards, and I truly felt like he was giving me the answers. And I felt like he was speaking directly to me, and I felt like this elation and joy and a feeling of home, which is interesting, with Anubis being here. I'm actually getting chills talking about it. And that's when I realized, you know, I've worshipped Anubis before in past lives, and he called me his daughter, and I've had a very close relationship with Anubis ever since then now. My husband actually even saw him once in my room watching over me, so when I was sleeping. So that was the most memorable experience I've had. 27, my favorite item on my altar is... I'm looking at my altar. It's a toss-up between two items. Alright, you're literally sitting on my altar, by the way. That's why I'm like looking this way. Alright, hang on. Okay. My little plush bast. I love bast. I also have a bast incense burner, and I have a little bast right here, and I have a bast on my necklace. I've always loved bast. This would probably be, and then my rose quartz. Rose quartz is one of my favorite stones, and my rough black tourmaline as well. These are both rough stones, the black tourmaline and rose quartz. Those are probably my favorite things on my altar. I don't know, man. My incense, though, I can't live without incense. So many things. Alright. And I don't... The plush bast I got off Amazon. These I got from local shops. The incense I get off Amazon. My French vanilla incense I actually got at a local shop first, and then found I could order it on Amazon. Much cheaper. Sorry. I get like 10 of these, which have 15 sticks each, for like $10. Whereas one of these at the shop is like 3. Let's see. 28. If I could ask my hero from my tradition 3 questions, what would they be? How do I think they'd answer those? I don't have a tradition, and I don't have a hero. So I don't know how to answer that. I mean, there's people in the witchy pagan community. I know not all witches are pagans, but typically those communities do overlap a bit. That I really look up to, and I'd love to sit down and have a conversation with them. And the questions I would ask them would just be related to their own beliefs and paths. You know, what are yours and why? And, you know, what made you go that way? How did you find it? And all of that, because we all have such different stories, and I love hearing other people's stories. So, it's the best way I can answer that one. Let's see. 29. What advice do I wish had been given when I first became a pagan? Let's see. When I first became a pagan, I actually became a Wiccan. I talked about this, I think, in one of the previous Pagan Journaling videos. And it didn't take me too long to figure out Wicca didn't really fit me. But I also didn't know that there were other pagan paths. Like, I knew there were druids and shamans and such that could be considered pagan, but I didn't really know that there was a such thing as making your own path. So I wish somebody would have told me that. And 30. What simple but profound thing have I learned as I've walked this path? I'm constantly learning. Just this week I've been listening to Hay House had a Psychic World Summit that was free as long as you listen to the lectures the same day. If you have like the free pass, so to speak, you have 24 hours to listen to each lecture. Like each days there'll be like 3 or 4, and they're available at midnight and then till the next midnight. And there's been a lot of people speaking. Kyle Gray, who's one of my favorites, he works with angels. Quite a few psychics, mediums, people like that talked. A few of them I felt might have been a little far out there. I didn't listen to everyone, but I listened to a lot of the talks. Just a second. Better. Sorry, my throat gets dry when I talk a lot. But one of them said something. I think it was in that, or it was somebody else I watched recently, because I've come across several things recently that, you know, had me like learn quite a bit. But one of them was she had had a rough past involving addiction and things like that. She was going through recovery, and just one day she had sort of a profound experience walking by a tree and realizing that spirit is in that tree. Spirit is in all things and all of us. And she had the realization that if spirit created this tree and spirit created her, spirit doesn't create trash. So she's worth something. People in addiction often struggle with self-worth. I've never dealt with addiction, but I've struggled with self-worth. And her saying that was amazing to me. It was profound for me. I didn't have to look at a tree to get it like she did. I'm so glad she got it, though, from that tree, because I'm sure it's helped many others to hear that. But it truly made me realize, you know, by not having love for myself, not having compassion for myself, not feeling I have a lot of self-worth, I'm basically disrespecting spirit, because spirit is in me and a part of me, and in a way created me. And why would I not have compassion and love for something that spirit is in and created? So it was an interesting revelation for me. It was profound. I don't know if it's like the most profound thing I've learned on this path, but it is an example of the fact that we're always learning. I mean, I'm 36 now, and I was first introduced to Wicca, let's see, it's 2017 now. I want to say 2004, 2005. So 12, 13 years ago is when I was first introduced to Wicca. So I've been doing this for a while, and you know, I just learned that a couple days ago. So constantly learning, constantly growing, constantly evolving. It's amazing how much of growing has happened just in the last year for me. And I plan on continuing to grow. Alright. It's a good thing I just did the last one, because my throat's not recovering. I need some time of not talking now to let my throat recover. So thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. Again, I am Sage. Sage Serenity Silver is my full magic name. I will see you in my next video, hopefully next Wednesday for Witchy Wednesdays. I still need to record a deck walkthrough of the Enchanted Map Oracle. It's the only deck I own that I have not done that on yet, so hopefully I'll get that done soon. No promises. I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care of yourselves. Yeah. Bye.